Hello, this is Dswank, and I am in Space Engineers. Obviously you can't see anything because this is an empty world that I am doing in creative just to build a ship that you saw the nose of. What this is going to be is I'm planning on doing sort of a scripted machinima, semi-scripted machinima-like thing in Space Engineers akin to Star Trek, out exploring, things like that. But it's going to be a little different because I have a universe that I've been writing short stories and things like that in since high school that's fairly well developed. And this is going to take place in that. And the ship that is going to be it's going to take place on is a very relatively early human ship. The class is the Hammer class heavy cruiser, or Hammer class cruiser. There she is. This one in universe is actually one of the last ones to come off the line. As you can see, guns, kind of submarine looking, hangar bay, point defense guns, and flat cannons, and lots of engines. And I'm doing this with a remote control or gamepad, so my controls try and make it look a little smoother, but it's not working. Okay, I have the Stargate mod in here just because if you use the Supergate and cover it with things, it actually looks. I have a plan for it that it functions for what I need. So, all right. This world actually has a lot of mods in it, as you can tell. Stargate mod. I've got all of, oh god, I can't think of his name, but all these turrets of this that he's done of this style that are not in DirectX 11. There's a lot of, this is like 50-50 DirectX 11 and not. The ship's also not completely done. I've done a lot of work on it, but she's not done. Uncle Steve's armored ramp pack, that's actually very helpful for the general shape of this ship. Slow down. You can also tell that my game is running a little slow, but simulation speed has been 1 for most of this. Alright, I'll do kind of a walkthrough of the ship. I'm not finished, but ship will have 4 of these. It's construction of, come on, let's go up. There we go. Slow down. Slow down. Isn't X down? X isn't down. Is that down? That's not down. Oh well, let's do that. Alright. I know A is up. That turned off my jetpack. Okay. There we go. But anyway, I have a projector there, and I have a mod that widens the turret, the welder range. Originally, I was going to put welders over there, but they wouldn't work for what I was looking for. So, especially because you can see the skin of the ship there. And I haven't actually tested that. I don't think I'm going to right now. But, yeah, these will all be piped up and piped back. This is kind of the forward engineering bay. Those torpedoes are basically drones with a warhead on them, using the large torpedo part mod. And you will have 4 of those facing forward out of the ship. And let's see, I even have, as you can see, that there, so you can have torpedo bay doors, which is fun. Okay, the other side doesn't have this yet, but it will. It will have the designation, and so heavy cruiser 27. I may get rid of the H for heavy cruiser, but because it doesn't. Basically, when the ship was designed, it was classed as a battleship because it was the biggest thing Earth had built at the time. But shortly thereafter, a command ship was built that was taking two hulks of two of these that were destroyed and sandwiching them together with a command center in the middle. And that became kind of the standard battleship construction. It allowed larger hangar bay, things like that. Now, inside the hangar bay, we have 4 of the Dart Scouts I've shown in, I think, my first Fleet Yard video. These have been upgraded with oxygen and things like that, and a docking port. That's going to be the hangar control for the Dart Squadron. Back there. I haven't completed that. I'm thinking about having a single Mustang, because the Mustang would have just come out when this ship would have been launched, and like the first few fighters would be entering service. This is the shuttle that would take things to land on planets. It also functions kind of like a helicopter, assault helicopter. And it carries one of these terrain vehicles, which have a small refinery and assembler on them, and a single turret. It kind of looks like the Mako from Mass Effect, and unfortunately, as soon as I realized that it looked kind of like the Mako, it was going to look extremely like the Mako, just because of the way my mind works. Alright, this is the main cross-platform I have right now. I also only have one gravity generator. Alright, let's see. Up here is the battle bridge, and the gravity generator doesn't really affect this area that much. Alright, down we go, through the door. Obviously I'm using the Colt command pack. I really like this bridge, the way I have it set up. It feels good. I've got kind of the command officer's room here, his office. It's a little bigger than I'd planned, but it's also going to be kind of the meeting hall for meeting area for any command level officers. And then back over here we have, this is going to be kind of the God, what is the word? Fleet, well, it's going to be kind of the conference room. There we go, that works. Okay. I didn't really show the other side of the ship, the other command bridge area, but I'll get to that last. Alright, let's keep going. This is hangar right here. There's really nothing else in this area. Security office is going to be below, along with detention cell. This is kind of more hangar bay stuff. This is medical room. And I believe, how did I, there we go. Yeah, so this is where the gravity generator actually is. Medical room, kind of waiting area. You've got receptionist. Come on. I'm still getting used to control interface with the controller. It makes very good video cinematic cuts, but not very good for controlling inside the ship. And I am annoyed with that, so I'm going to switch back to mouse and keyboard, because I'm done showing most of the flybys of the ship. I may do a few more. But there we go. Door opens. Alright, we've got the medical bay, the normal. Then over here we've got our cryopods that are all hooked up. They're not in the main connection area, but we've got cryopods. We've got 6, and so 9, 18, We've got 24 cryopods. There's the gravity generator. That's not where it's going to go, but we've got secondary medical areas. Toilet for that area. And this is going to be the surgery room. Come on. I really didn't have my setup set for mouse and keyboard right now, but it's kind of surgery room and doctor office. I also don't have lights installed yet. That's going to be one of the last things I do, just because it, well, it'll make everything work better. I can name the lights and have switches that turn them on and off and things like that if I do them last. Alright, so. Alright. So, yeah, if you keep going down this path, we end up back in the forward missile area. These chunks up here are thrusters. I'll do another couple passes outside, but I think this is going to be the secondary engineering bay and crew quarters up in the front. There'll probably be crew quarters in this area, on this side of the paths, and down here, and possibly up above, except I think I blocked that off. Okay. Yeah, crew quarters, maybe above this, maybe below this. I'm thinking security rooms and armory and stuff somewhere in this area, or maybe the other side of the hangar. Batteries, charging, yay, more batteries. Actually, I'm thinking security directly under the hangar below command, like right in here. Put security in the detention cells there. The brig. Alright. Yeah. Or I may put the security on this side, brig on the other side of that wall. And so you can use security access to get to this hangar bay and load up with weapons and things that you might need. Empty room. Going to have more housing and stuff of people. Maybe some central storage, not sure. And this is engineering. It's kind of mirrored on both sides. I'm not completed with it. We have storage bays. I'm going to have a walkway that goes in between. But both sides of the engineering is pretty much mirrored. We have this that lets you look into engineering, into the reactor area, which I think looks really cool. And as you can see, there's actually storage inside as well. We've got our hyperspace cores here and there. Ooh, I never actually thought about that. Because I've got a walkway I need to walk under. Okay, good. I did think about that. Okay, the gyros are actually layered inside this wall with some armor protection. And I'm going to have a stairway walkway with crosswalks all the way up for checking on the oxygen tanks. Like I said, it's mirrored on the other side. So we've got a lot of oxygen storage, and I haven't put in the control consoles and things that will be down here in engineering yet. I've just got the basics for engineering figured out. Let's see. So yeah, see, it's mirrored. Actually, it's not completely mirrored yet, because I don't have the piping and everything, and the walkways on this side. But it will be. The reason I didn't put them over there is because I'm not 100% sure I want to keep it that way. But okay, yeah, I believe I have everything piped up to where these can get refueled from outside, and I'll show you how that works. But yeah, that's going to be... Oh, what the... I got lost orientating. Okay. This is going to be the lowest level of the ship, right here, where you can walk through. And then you come into engineering, and you'll have a stairway that goes down on one side, probably straight in front, and then a causeway that you can take that'll come out, bounce over, and around to this area. And I'm thinking of having some sort of stairway like structure, or maybe that do like a Jeffrey tube sort of jetpack elevator thing here, or I might use a piston elevator. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah. Okay, now let's get out. Actually, no, let's show off the other bridge and then go outside. And then I'll bring up the G menu so you can see all the different mod pieces I'm using, some of which I'm not using. And I'd love to put this in DirectX 11, but I'm not sure that's going to work. Yeah, this is the other bridge. I don't know what you'd call it, but I guess normal bridge, observation bridge, whatever. But this is the bridge that when the ship's not in combat that it uses. Because it's more aimed at, I guess this is the bridge, the other is command and control, if that makes sense. CNC. Alright, and here we have our route out, airlock, and since the ship's not pressurized, I'm not that worried about not pressurizing it. I'm still looking at doing a couple of things to improve the ship. I'm going to name all airlock doors, things like that. So, yeah, we've got our deep space communication dish, 2 local antennas, our anti-light craft weapons, and these are anti-light craft and missiles. Anti-larger thing weapon. Got those up here. Hopefully those would also be able to cover most of the forward turrets to protect that part of the ship. I think they will. Let's see. But yeah, we've got those thrusters, vertical thrusters here on the nose. I've thought about putting them on the back, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do that. Mostly because I'm not sure I have enough room. Also, I'm not sure if it's going to tear up the lines of the ship or not back here. What I'd have to do. I do have thrusters there, vertical thrusters there, and here's where the side thrusters are, and there's the docking port. And this is one of those mods that I like, but for some reason it's not quite right. When I first placed the ship, they were in the correct position, but they slid off. And this is one of those errors that when brought up to the mod author, they say, oh, well, it must be because I meant it for DirectX 11. So, yes, there's that. Okay, so the side thrusters, then both sides have this, which I'm still working on. I'm going to armor all around inside here, I think. But these are doors that open and close, and this rides out fairly far and allows ships to dock and supply. And I think I have everything, yeah, I think I have everything hooked up to where I can play with it. Ooh, that's not good. Azimuth reactor. Oh, that's very not good. I thought I had everything rigged to where I could... I guess I'm going to have to go back in and see why it's not working. But I thought I had everything set up so that worked. And then the back end engines. Unfortunately, the reason why I think that's really bothering me is I armored over all the, almost all of the feeding ports in the back engine area and on the sides to protect them if the engines get shot out. So that concerns me somewhat. I'm not 100% sure on where everything is. So, yep, there we go. This is the Hammer class Durandal in construction. And hopefully will be coming to a machinima near you. Until then, this is Dswank, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.